was going to record while I was getting ready, but I got ready and forgot. So we are on our way to week 6 of this faith tour. It's going by so fast, oh my gosh. I was going to go to a Hare Krishna Hindu temple. However, I was looking at pictures and I saw that they sit on the ground, and I hurt my back pretty bad on Thursday. So I was like, let's abort that and let's go to this Buddhist temple. I'm hoping that they don't sit on the ground. They may, but I didn't see pictures that they did. So that is what we're gonna do. I'm gonna drive there now. I'm actually really nervous / excited for this. I've only been to Hindu and Buddhist temples in Bali while I've traveled, and then in Vietnam as well, but I've never been to one in America. So I read the website. It looks very welcoming to new people, so I'm gonna do that. And then next week I'm gonna bring a guest to the Hare Krishna temple. Yes, I'm so excited. I've just been so nervous about these two for some reason. So let's do it. Anyone else turn the volume down when they're looking for an address? I think it's so hilarious. I'm actually so nervous, and I don't know why. I'm literally like never nervous to do things alone. I feel like I'm so nervous. I did just see 999. That's good news. Your destination is on the left. I think I found it. I think it's here. I don't know where you go in or what do you do? What happens? Where do you park? I'm nervous. Okay, first of all, super random place to have a temple. Really confused. Second of all, I'm slightly nervous because I remember when I went to Bali, I just remembered this right now, but we had to like cover our shoulders. My shoulders are definitely not covered. And so I'm like, are they gonna let me in? What are they gonna do? Am I gonna be in trouble? I'm so nervous. Why am I so nervous about this? Thank you. Okay, so I found it. I made my way in. I experienced the experience. They gave me some fruit to take home. I have so much to share with you. It was just so cute, so beautiful. Week 6 faith tour complete. As you saw, I went to the Buddhist temple in downtown Denver. So the first thing happens, I walk in and I'm greeted by this amazing man who gives me the lowdown of how the entire experience is going to go. And what I realized when I was there and he was sharing with me everything that was going to happen is that I don't know much about the Buddhist practice when it comes to inside of the temple. Just felt like there's a deeper calling for me to explore the Buddhist teachings, and we went over the 3 treasures, so the Buddha, the Dharma, and the Sangha. And I feel that I just am being called to explore Buddhist teachings even more. So that was like the first thing. So as I'm kind of going through this journey in this video, I know Buddhist teachings when it comes to more of the mainstream sharings and the way that I've seen it be expressed through mentors, through coaches, and then my exploration when I was in Bali and Vietnam. However, I feel that I have a deeper connection to more of the Hindu teachings. So even most of the songs I listen to are backed by Hindi understandings. So yeah, I feel that a lot of what I've adopted from the Buddhist religion or practice is more things that have just been taught mainstream, like meditation, and I have more of a connection to the Hindi understandings, the Hindu teachings, than I do to Buddhism.
So I'm intrigued. I'm excited. I want to learn more. And even my necklaces, like these are all like Hindu goddesses. The man that greeted me at the door was so amazing. Probably one of the most thorough, present, and welcoming people that I've experienced at the front door when I walked into one of these places. He felt like he was the most embodied. He said he grew up in Japan. He was like probably around my age, and explained exactly the traditions that were going to happen and that I could participate in them, and it was sacred for me to do so. And so when you first walk into the temple, you must do a bow, and about 15-degree bow, in order to just show your respects for the practice and for what you're going to be receiving. And then from there, you grab one of the books, which I'll show you right here. Then you have to express gratitude with the book by tapping it to your forehead, saying a mantra, and then you can open up the book to the page that the chairwoman, who is the one that helps support the sensei, so they work together, but she'll tell you what page to turn to, and then the sensei will facilitate. This whole experience was 1 hour long, so it's shorter than any of the other places I've gone to. So we sang some mantras, what you would have inside of the service book. And then there was a Dharma teaching, and the Dharma teaching was really beautiful. It was very much about how there's two examples of awake. One is awake with a capital A, and one's awake with a lowercase a. And she was talking about how a lot of times, as in this human experience, where the human experience is a little bit messy, it is a little bit more chaotic, it is harder to stay on one path. We have thoughts of worry, of panic, of fright, of fear that happen all of the time, that a lot of humans are walking through life within the lowercase a, which is just kind of going through the motions of life, allowing the panic and the worry to keep you up at night, and not necessarily surrendering to, like, handing it over. It's this panic and this worry and this angst that we're hanging on to, which is then causing inner turmoil and inner suffering. And a capital A, awake, she talks about as being present to your thoughts, as being the witnesser of what is transpiring. And instead of getting caught up in the what ifs, it's really shifting your focus to what is, right? If we're caught up in what if, we're not actually focused on what is. And so the whole teaching goes through and speaks about how a lot of times we can look at life and we are these travelers on this path trying to get to this destination, this town. And a lot of times if you're on a path and it's lonely and it's dark and you're looking ahead and you don't know how much longer you have to go, you can meet someone along the path that's maybe coming from where you were going the opposite way, and you ask, how much farther, how much more do I have to go? But your perception of far, when you're tired, when you've been walking a path and you've been exhausted, seems different than someone who's maybe been refreshed, maybe just had a good night's sleep and just came from the destination to where you're going. It's understanding that everyone's path is different and that you are the traveler in this thing we call life, and that you're going to consistently be traveling to a destination always. But if you can really get present to being more capital A awake rather than lowercase a awake, then you get to really be present with what is rather than what if, right? So that was just a really cool reminder, nothing that I haven't heard before, but just really about how we get so caught up in the inner story, the mind game, the mind story, that we forget about being present, about our 2 feet walking on the ground, about our hearts beating, about our eyes seeing the beauty of the plants around us. Like, we're so caught up in always trying to make things perfect or to not have things happen the way that we don't want them to, that we forget about the beauty that's all around us. So this was just really beautiful because my nervous system felt so peaceful inside of the temple and felt so calm, like almost to the point where I could have nodded off. Like I was that calm and that at rest. And I haven't felt that way in any of the places I've gone before. I feel like the most activated I've been by God was when I first went to Red Rocks Church. And then the most peaceful I've felt was in this Buddhist temple. Yeah, I just felt so present. And most of the mantras I'll show you here were not in a comprehensible English language, right? So when you look at the mantras or you're singing the mantras, you're maybe not as activated by the words because you don't know the meaning to them. So I found that because it was my first time and I didn't know what the different things meant, that I was a little bit more focused on the pronunciation rather than the feeling. But it was such a beautiful experience and definitely something that I'll go back to because I felt so at peace, so calm. There weren't a lot of people there, and it wasn't a very like activating, like life-giving experience. It was more like very peaceful. And so I feel that there's a really cool balance of like going and getting the like whole band playing and all of that at the, say, Red Rocks Church, and then coming and feeling more peace and grounded and present and full of just like connected to your Dharma and all of that at the Buddhist temple. I would definitely say that I'm not like fully activated in like I'm life shifted, but this really helped me nudge me to deepen like research and learnings when it comes to more of the Buddhist practices and books and to really be like, yo, I'm doing this faith tour and this is going to be something that I'm going to be able to tell a story about, because not many people will take the time every single weekend to visit a new place of spiritual worship by themselves and it be something that stretches them out of their comfort zone, you know? So I loved it. I thought it was really freaking cool. And one thing that I thought was also really cool is when I walked into the temple, this man was walking in. I was like, oh, do you know which way to go? And he's like, I actually don't. 11:11. I actually don't. I'm new here also. And then as the guy was talking to me about the experience and what I was going to witness, another woman walked in. It was her first time. Another woman walked in. It was her first time. There were so many first timers there that I was so happy. I was so happy about it. What I actually started to recognize is that there's other people on this journey similar to what I'm doing as well. And after the experience, so after the Dharma talk, which is the motivational talk that I just spoke to, you then go up and you kind of give an offering. So in the Catholic Church, or even in the last Christian church that I went to, there's like the breaking bread and the wine. Well, what I loved about this way more than the breaking bread and wine was it's an offering of gratitude, but you go up and you bow to this beautiful altar that has like burning incense, and you take your little rocks of incense and you offer your gratitude inside of the altar, and that's your way of saying thank you. That's your way of expressing gratitude. And that felt way more aligned to just how I live my life. It just was very relatable and what I've been doing. So I thought that was really cool. That's the way that they end the experience rather than using like the bread and the wine. So I loved that. And my whole nervous system felt so calm. I wasn't triggered by anything. Even though I couldn't really understand what was being said in the chants and in the mantras, I felt at home there. And even so much so that after the experience, they have like a little community room, and we went in and we had manja, I think that's what it is. I'll put the name here. had tea and fruit, and we just got to connect and really be with the community. And so I sat at a table with like some people that had been there before, some people that were new, and I met this woman who was also on a faith tour. She went to a non-denominational church last weekend, and then this weekend she come to the Buddhist temple, and I was like, whoa, like God is putting all of these people in my path to remind me that I'm on this path and that I'm here to really explore and to experience and to create my own understanding of what God means to me and what spirituality means to me and what the places of worship that feel most comfortable, right? And again, I didn't get like a lot of takeaways from this experience other than the message I had was go study more, go learn more, go read more about Buddhism, so you can feel and experience more of Buddhist culture and learnings and teachings and all of that. So I loved it. I thought it was so beautiful. The place that I was at was like in a random spot, but once you walk in the gates, it's really beautiful. It feels yummy. I would definitely go to like even another Buddhist temple. However, there's not many here. So maybe when I'm back in LA, I'll look for one, or I don't know. But this journey is just so eye-opening. It's such a beautiful reminder. It's like my own intimacy deepening because I'm basically like dating myself and God every single week, expanding beyond God to other religions and spiritual practices. And I'm just learning, honestly. I feel like a little child when it comes to this journey, even though I feel like I've been on it for a while, but it's like a new deepening of my faith. So yeah, that's where I'm at. I'm going to go to a Himalayan salt cave and infrared sauna in like probably an hour. So I might record that too, just to make this video so fun. But thank you for tuning in. I will continue to share with you just what I hear, what I learn, what I know, what I come to understand, the answers that are being answered. And it didn't feel like any answers were answered today. No. But except for that I got told to go study more Buddhism, read more, learn more, understand more. So yeah. How awesome. If anything, this is going to be such a way to connect with different people, different cultures, to just know what my faith is, where it stands, and what I want to adopt and not adopt, create, not create, let behind, all the things. So, yeah. Thank you for tuning in. I will see you next week. We're going to go to the Hare Krishna temple. I'm going to bring a guest, I'm pretty sure. And that one I'm really looking forward to because I know that it's like so welcoming. There's so much music. Like I get lit up by music, as you probably heard in the last video that I shared about with the psilocybin ceremony. If you did not listen to that one yet, I would definitely go back and watch it. But music is how God communicates to me, in Technicolor also. But so yeah. I'm grateful. I'm grateful for this journey. It's really eye-opening. It's really deepening. I'm learning so much about myself. I'm learning so much about spirituality. And so much is happening. So